Hey Crafty friend, it's Justine. I am so happy to be working with another wax seal of the month. The wax seal comes like this. You can either choose to store it without the handle or with the handle, but this wax seal is so cute and it is Christmas themed this month. To give you a close personal look at it, here it is. It says Merry Christmas to you. And it is a little bit difficult to read right now. It's a little bit difficult to read on this piece looking at it on camera, but you can kind of see it there. But I like to use these metallic paint pens to really show the raised areas and give the seal a beautiful look. So we're going to just dive right into this first card. I have 3 cards to show you today showing the wax seal. If you are someone who's looking for a tutorial of how to wax seal, make sure to check out my video on my channel called How I Wax Seal, and go ahead and check out the whole playlist I have that is all about wax sealing, and you will get some answers from that video. Now, the background paper I have here, I did some Distress Oxide back in the day. I think it was like 2 months ago I made this background paper, and then I sprayed it with water and I let it dry, and it was kind of warped and I forgot about it underneath a heavy box. Now I'm going to use it on a card today because I do like the texture of it, but I totally forgot to use it, so we're going to use it today. I have my sealed twine piece right here, and I just am going to pretend that that is twine. This is one of my favorite wax seal dies. If you are wax sealing, you're going to want to pick this die up. So I will have that linked in the comments below if you're interested. And this wax seal of the month, the club of the month, is available on the 1st. If you are a club member already, you can go ahead and add that to your subscriptions. If you are not a club member, you need to wait until the 6th of each month. Then you can go ahead and pick it up. And make sure that you pick this wax seal up if you want it before the 27th. You have through the 27th to pick up the wax seal if you want it, but after the 27th, it might come back on the website. It might not come back on the Spellbinders website. So if you want it, you do have to pick it up during the subscription window time. So there you have it. There's my little spiel for you about the clubs, but Spellbinders wax seals I think are really nice. The club comes with a bag of 100 wax beads for melting, and that is fabulous. This month it was the red, so I chose to do the red seal on this first card here, and then I'm going to use some other colors on my next 2 cards. These 3 die cut pieces are from one die set. I will link these pieces in the description, but I had fun using some of the new glitter paper from Spellbinders on them, like the gold here and the red, and just had a fun time making those little pieces. And I really love this snowflake. I think it is really nicely done and it has a lot of detail. It's an older die, but it's new to me. I picked it up during the warehouse sale. So, oh no, it wasn't the warehouse sale. It was the BOGO. The buy one, get one. Okay. Now I'm just going to take my Deco Color paint pen and just color on the raised areas of this wax seal. I like to use the pokey part of my tool-in one just to hold down the wax seal itself. And I do that because the pokey part is so teeny tiny and it's not in my way at all. If I were to use my finger or my nail, it's a little bit bigger, of course, than this pin point tip, but it just gives the chance for less mistakes to happen. I love the effect that the paint pens give the wax seals. It just brings them right to life. Just so beautiful. Putting the wax onto the card, you could of course melt it right onto your project. You could use the silicone mat like I did here. So this is all free form and You can put it on with liquid glue. You could use adhesive stickers. Spellbinders does sell some stickers that are great for this, but since my liquid glue is out, this is what I'm going to use. So there is here's a close-up look at card number 1. I love the results of it, and I think the gold mirror cardstock and the gold paint pen really just tied together. All right, card number 2, I went purple because you know I love the cool tones, and I had to make a purple Christmas card because I love it. So I am just going to layer on some different papers here. I'm going to start with my silver mirror cardstock. Just going to use a tape runner for time's sake, but I do love using the adhesive tapes from the card kits. It definitely makes for quick crafting. It definitely is a really cost-effective way to get some adhesive on your projects. It does take a second or two to peel off, so there's that, but it is nice and sticky and it works. But I do have a ton of these, so that's what we're using today. And then next is this purple piece of paper. This is just a piece that I got from Hobby Lobby a long time ago, and I'm just using it up. This piece here I watercolored a while ago, and again, it was with this red paper sitting under something and just basically doing absolutely nothing. So I thought, why not pull it out for a Christmas card? And I wanted to do a little bit of embossing on this one. So I used the embossing folder that is the embossing folder of this month. It is EOM 0423. It's called Christmas Tile, and it is really pretty. It's the regular embossing folder, and it definitely adds a little bit of texture to my background. So I use the emboss side, so there's a raised surface on here. Look how pretty that is. Wow, the light's really catching that on camera, which is fabulous. Anyway, we have our panel all set. No, I forgot I was going to use some twine. Thank you, Crafty Angel. Okay, so I'm going to use this twine. I picked up this twine from $1.25 Tree a long time ago, probably 2 years ago, and here I am using it now again, and I still have some on my roll, which is surprising, but sure enough. And it's kind of a wine color with a white, but I definitely can tell that the quality of this twine isn't as good as some other twine that I've recently used. I just got some ribbon and stuff from the Spellbinders core collection, and they're black and red to be specific, and it's called hemp cord, is less fuzzy than this stuff. I think this is made out of cotton, so it definitely just has a little bit of a fuzz to it, and I prefer kind of the clean texture of the hemp cord, but I haven't had a chance or really wanting to spend too much money on more twine and hemp cord if I have some here, so gotta use up what we got, you know? Okay. I'm just fussing with this, but I know that my piece here is a little bit big on top, so I think I need to take my cord off and just move it down. You're here for all the mistakes, aren't you? I do try to keep it real here on YouTube, so here I am having a mistake. There we go. Alrighty, that should do it. And then I'll finally stick it onto my card panel. And then I pulled out this die. Again, I got this one at the BOGO. Who knows if I got this one, you know, buy this set, get this set free. I don't know what ended up happening with my order, but I guess I could look into it, but I don't really feel like that's what I want to do with my crafty time. So it's really a pretty die set. It has almost a kind of elegant feel to it. So I went ahead and die cut out 3 of the sprigs, And then I'm going to put these silver glitter paper pieces on to the flower areas. And I'm hopefully going to be able to put them a little low so I still am able to see some of the purple on the top of the leaves. But I don't know if that's going to work. Oh, and just like an absolute genius, I put the glue where the purple is going to show. Wow, that's what you get for crafting with something for the first time on camera. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I'll put the glue on the tops because the bottom shows. Good morning, everyone. Okay, we'll try that again. There, that looks great. Okay. The nice thing about these little sprigs, they do add quite a lot to the texture of wax seal cards, but they really don't take that long to put together. Maybe it's a flower, maybe it's a little sprig like this with several small flowers, but it doesn't take a ton of time to make. And if you had a big enough work surface, I suppose you could kind of assemble some of these as you were watching your wax melt, or you know, whatever you might be doing. I don't know if I have quite all the brain capacity to do all of that. Definitely not the space yet, but we're still working on our construction project, so who knows. I've been trying to map out the layout for that room, and I kind of have an idea, but I don't know. I go back and forth, and it's really all about the light, because we're adding 2 big windows in that room. One of them is going to be a 5x8, and one of them is going to be a 5x4. So yeah, kind of big, but I love all the light. And in the winter in Minnesota, you know, if you know, you know, we need the light. At least I know I do, because it can be very dark and gloomy in the winter. So at least if I see the sun when I'm crafting, I think I will feel happy. Last year, for whatever reason, I'm not going to get into it on camera, but I had to move classrooms for about 2 months, and I was in a spot that was very, very dark. I did not see the sun hardly at all during the day. It was not good. We'll just put it that way. It was not good. It was temporary, thank the Lord, but I know that I need sun. I need the sun. So there you have it. All right, my little wax seal, I used some purple wax to make my wax seal, and I will use my silver paint pen for this one. I did pick up the rose gold too. I haven't found a wax color that I like the rose gold with. Should I try it on this one? Oh, well, I'm gonna try it because let's just be brave today. And I guess if I don't like it, I can go over it with silver, but I think I like it. Okay. Thanks for being brave with me today. I do like the way that turned out, and now I feel better about spending money on another paint pen and using it well, I think. I just love the glitter paper there. That is so pretty. If you don't know, Spellbinders came out with some new glitter paper colors. There's gold, silver, rose gold, and there's also a pack that is a kind of a jewel tone pack. So definitely check that out. I'll have a link for that in the description, but it is wonderful, and I love glitter. I love the sparkle of it all, so I definitely have been loving using those papers. Absolutely fighting the urge to hoard those though, so trying to use them and not just look at them and wait for the perfect project to come up, but instead using them as I see fit. Okay, for this card, I pulled out the 3D embossing folder of the month for this gold piece. It's called Flowering Christmas Tree Burst. 3EOM October 23 or OCT23. Every time I have an embossing folder, especially the 3D embossing folders, I know that it will turn out if I use gold or silver mirror cardstock. The metallic cardstocks just have this ability to look amazing with the embossing folders. It is so easy to make backgrounds. Now this twine is rather skinny, so I am going to use it 5 times around. Can you believe it? 5 times. It isn't too much bulk, so I'm not too concerned about that. Sometimes it's easier to use that twine dye like I showed you in the beginning, but since I have this green all ready to go in a roll, I just used that today on this card. This embossing folder definitely has a playful look with these flowers, and the other embossing folder too has the flowers on it too. If you look, you can see, where did they go? There they are. So there's some flowered look on both, but it's just kind of playful. Okay, now this die I will link in the description too, but I thought it would be fun to use 2 of whatever this thing is. It's some kind of a flower sprig thing. And instead of using the die cut pieces that are supposed to go on there, that are little circles, I thought, let's use bling. I love bling, and we already have a ton of bling on the background, so let's just really bling it up as I do and have a really blingy card. It's always interesting kind of fussing around with these pieces. Sometimes it might look good on top, but then you look at the twigs on the bottom and they look a little odd. So I will just kind of put those off to the side and give myself a minute to think about those pieces and put some pieces on this one to make some flowers. And typically white daisies aren't really Christmassy. You know, they're not. Let's just be real, but we're just gonna pretend for this one. And I am offsetting that. Really wasn't on purpose this time, but it's happening. And then the bottom piece goes on here, and you can change the color up if you want, but I'm gonna go white. This whole embossing folder and these little spriggy things are really giving me the Scandinavian kind of vibe. So I went with the white because it's kind of that clean, simple look, but it definitely seems to be packing a punch here. I forgot the little yellow piece, so we'll just sneak that in right there. And then there's another piece that goes on top that looks like Swiss cheese, and that gives a little texture to the flower. That is quite a lot of height for those 2 pieces, but we're just going with it. Y'all, the weather in Minnesota has been so nice this fall. Pretty warm for a fall, but that's okay with me. Fall is my favorite season, or autumn, as some people say. Whatever you call it, it's my favorite season for sure. What I was thinking about with these pieces of doing sometime is cutting these out with the sticker paper on the back, so they're just basically turned into a sticker, and having that be a little easier from putting these die cut pieces on, I think would be helpful. So I'm just going to arrange these and we'll see what happens. Now that all the die cut pieces are on, I'll add my wax seal. I'm just going to add some glue to the back because it might catch some of the little twine there, but most of that glue here is going to be doing the work to hold my piece on. Here's a close-up look at the wax seal. You can see it says Merry Christmas to you. If you look really closely with a careful eye, you might see that the C part right here did not turn out as high as the others, but I did take my paint pen and color over that C area, and you really wouldn't be able to tell from the highway, if you will. So we're going with it and making it work. Every time I post about my wax seals, I get a lot of comments. Either people say, oh my goodness, your wax seals are perfectly circular. Or like, how do you do it? You must use a mold. I don't. If you look at my last month's video, you can see I made, I think, 11 of them without a mold, and they were pretty circular. But that's because I've practiced and done it a lot. And then the other people, the other camp chimes in and says, well, I like the wax seals when they're not perfect. I hear you. I agree with that too. But there's sometimes where I want it to look perfect in a circle, and that's that. But sometimes they're a little lumpy, and that's fine too. Whatever camp you're in, let me know in the comments what you think about these 3 cards. Which one is your favorite? I think if I had to pick a favorite, I'd pick this one. It does it for me. It's the colors, it's the texture, it's the background, everything. This is my favorite, but I love these 2 as well. Anyway, let me know in the comments, and I hope that you get to craft soon. We'll see you next time. Bye!